I cloned one player on every NFL team's offense, and they're gonna be allowed to play other positions. Now, you also have to know that face scans and years of experience are not gonna be accurate for the clones, but all their attributes will be correct. Starting with the Chicago Bears, now Justin Fields is only a 74 overall at running back, so instead we left him at quarterback, and we cloned their wide receiver DJ Moore, so Fields will throw to two of them. Same situation in Cincinnati, they cloned Jamar Chase, but we moved his clone to tight end. So now Burrow has a 99 overall. Great wide receiver core. Mixon still at running back. Speaking of running back, that's where the Stephon Diggs clone on the Buffalo Bills is gonna be playing. He's a 99 overall. Huge upgrade at RB for Buffalo. In Denver, we cloned Courtland Sutton. We moved him to tight end. Now he's the highest overall on the entire offense at an 87. Now Nick Chubb's gonna stay at running back for Cleveland, but Amari Cooper is gonna get cloned. They'll always have two of them on the field and a pretty good tight end in Njoku. And I promise you, it's not just wide receivers that we're cloning. Take, for instance, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. We cloned Tristan Wirfs. One of them's gonna move to right guard and is gonna drastically improve that O-line. The Cardinals are gonna have two guys with 97 speed, Hollywood Brown. One of them is now the RB1, an 89 overall. Back to the O-line for the Los Angeles Chargers. Rashawn Slater made the most sense since they already have really good talent at every single offensive position. Now they have two 88 overall tackles. This was a no-brainer. Travis Kelce is the clone in Kansas City. One of them moves to wide receiver, so they'll always have two Kelces on the field. In Indianapolis, we cloned Michael Pittman Jr. and we moved one of them to tight end, where his overall actually went up to an 88. The only thing scarier than one Scary Terry is two of them, especially when that one's a 90 overall tight end. Nice upgrade for Washington. CeeDee Lamb was the obvious choice in Dallas. Not only does his overall go up at tight end, he's a 97 overall, but he has better break tackle, trucking, and stiff arm than every tight end on the roster. Dallas is looking good. However, the Dolphins might have the scariest team with two Tyreek Hills out there at all times. He's a 96 overall tight end, and there's going to be mismatches for days against any linebacker or safety that tries to cover him. As for Philadelphia, we ended up cloning AJ Brown and moving one of them to running back, where he's a 99 overall. This run game is going to be deadly. Now, you would think Bijan would be a great wide receiver in Madden, but he's only a 71 overall. That's stupid. Not even top 5 on ATL. And then, of course, you have Kyle Pitts, but he's only a 77 at wide receiver. So instead, we decide to clone Chris Lindstrom and give the Falcons another 91 overall offensive lineman, so they get a 20 overall upgrade at left guard. Sticking on the offensive line, the Niners are gonna get even better with two Trent Williams. They go up 30 overalls at right tackle. I thought it was a no-brainer given that they already have elite talent at every skill position on offense. Saquon was only a 77 at wide receiver. Waller was only a 76, so that really would not improve their wide receiver core too much, which is why we ended up cloning Andrew Thomas, the left tackle, and giving them a 19 overall upgrade at right tackle. In Jacksonville, we cloned Brandon Scherf, their right guard, and gave them a 12 overall upgrade at center. The Jets desperately needed help at wide receiver, so we just cloned Garrett Wilson and kept him at wide receiver. Amon-Ra St. Brown is already impossible to cover on third downs. Now teams are going to have to cover two of them. Aaron Jones was only a 74 overall wide receiver, so in Green Bay, we decided to clone left tackle David Bakhtiari, and now they have two tackles with abilities instead of one. No team needed more help at wide receiver than the Panthers, so we cloned Adam Thielen to help Bryce Young out a lot. The Patriots are going to get more help on their offensive line with two Trent Browns. They go up 16 overalls at right guard. The Raiders are going to have two Devontae Adams on the field at all times. One of them's going to be a 95 overall tight end. Similar situation on the Rams. Now they have two Cooper Kupps. He's a 97 overall tight end. They go up 16 overalls there. But probably my favorite clone of the video, Lamar Jackson, is already a 95 overall quarterback, but he's a 91 overall running back, 96 speed. They go go up 12 overalls. I can't wait to see what kind of stats he produces during the season. As for the Saints, we have 2 Ryan Ramczyks now. We moved one of them to left tackle, so they go up 18 overalls there. DK Metcalf was the clone in Seattle. He goes up to a 91 overall at tight end, and Geno gets another weapon to throw to. The Steelers needed help on their offensive line, so James Daniels was the choice. They go up 14 overalls at center and give Pickett a little bit more time to throw. Laramie Tunsil was the easy choice in Houston. Now they have 2 95 overall linemen, and they go up 30 overalls at the center position. The only thing better than one Nuke Hopkins is 2 of them. The Titans are gonna have a 92 overall DeAndre at tight end number 1. And finally, Justin Jefferson ends up being cloned for the Minnesota Vikings, 299 overalls. But he's also a 99 overall running back, and the Vikings offense is now extremely dangerous. Time to sim to the playoffs and see which clone is going to have the biggest impact in both conferences. Let me know your Super Bowl prediction down in the comments, man. If I see a correct prediction, then I know you cheated, okay? Let's be honest. I'm going to go in the NFC with the Vikings, 99 Jefferson at running back. I mean, that's going to be scary. In the AFC, give me the Ravens, okay? Lamar at running back. I want to see that in the Super Bowl. In the AFC, the Bills end up with the 1 seed. Ravens and Lamar end up second. Chargers, Jets, Jaguars, Bengals, and Steelers make the playoffs. The Chiefs go 10-7 with 2 Kelseys and miss out. Same with the Browns. The Dolphins with 2 Tyreeks go 8-9. Raiders, Broncos, Texans, Titans, Colts, and Patriots don't make it. In the NFC, we have the Cowboys going 15-2. Philadelphia, Minnesota with 2 Jeffersons. So both my picks made it to the playoffs. You have the Saints, Falcons, Rams, and Niners all make it. The Lions go above 500 with 2 Amon-Ra's and don't make it. You gotta feel bad. Seahawks, Giants, Packers, Bucks, Panthers, Commanders, Bears, and Arizona do not make the postseason. Time to see some stats. Prescott led everyone with 4,800 passing yards. A lot of quarterbacks ended up with over 4,000. We're gonna scroll all the way down to 3,000, and you can stop it if you need to. Fields didn't get to the 3,000 mark, but I'm sure he did damage in a rushing game. Prescott 46 touchdowns. He has to be the front runner for MVP. Lamar threw a lot of touchdowns. I'm curious what the other Lamar was able to do on the ground. Here's everyone that threw for at least 17 pass touchdowns. What happened to Kyler? 8 touchdowns, 19 picks. Not a great season from him. Meanwhile, Josh Jacobs had the most rushing yards. Saquon, AJ Brown finished 3rd. Averaged over 5 yards a carry. McCaffrey, Walker, Jones, Eckler, Henry, and Bijan. Then he has Stephon Diggs, 1,300 yards on the ground, proving he can play multiple positions. Lamar Jackson, 1,200 yards, 10 touchdowns, so 4.6 yards a carry. He was out there dominating. Jefferson, 1,100 yards, 4.3 yards a carry, 9 touchdowns. These guys all had over 1,000. Like, that's insane. Hollywood Brown, 1 yard short, 900. So he didn't have the greatest season out of possession. Justin Fields, 800 yards. He's a quarterback, obviously. Lamar, 800 yards, the quarterback version. Okay, Jalen Hurts, 600. So if you add Lamar to the other Lamar, that's about 2,000 yards rushing. Like, that's absolutely nuts. 22 rushing touchdowns for Saquon to lead everyone. Damian Pierce, and then Josh Jacobs round out the top 3. As for receiving, Cooper Kupp still led everyone with 1,790. CeeDee Lamb was right there. Keenan Allen in 3rd. Diggs, Amon-Ra, Jefferson. Kelsey, the wide receiver version, ends up in the top 10. The other Kelsey ends up in the top 15 to 20. So Mahomes has 2 phenomenal targets to throw to. Scary Terry, really good season for a tight end. 70 for 834 and 6 touchdowns. CeeDee Lamb at tight end, 81 for 778 and 9 touchdowns. Nasty season. Jamar Chase, almost 10 yards a catch for the Bengals at tight end. Devontae had 1 more yard and 3 more receptions at tight end than TJ Hawkinson did for the Minnesota Vikings. So that was a nice addition. Tyreek, 690 yards, 66 receptions, 9 touchdowns. They probably should have went through him a little bit more. I'm sure he had so many mismatches. Sutton did well for the Broncos. DeAndre Hopkins, 61 catches, 610 yards. Like, these are all really good seasons for tight ends. DK Metcalf, 600 yards. They're outproducing guys like Laporta at a brand new position, man. You cannot tell me that was not a good move. Look at Pittman, Cooper Kupp, over 500 yards receiving at the tight tight end position. AJ Brown even caught some passes out the backfield. Same with Jefferson Hollywood, as expected. Gonna look at the defensive stats, but their clones are gonna be in the next video. Destroy the like button if you can't wait for that one. 20 sacks for Von Miller. Maybe he gets cloned and Buffalo ends up with 40, or maybe the Lions clone Aiden Hutchinson. The Steelers with 2 TJ Watts. I mean, come on, man. I know you want to see it. 8 picks for Surtain to lead everyone. Harrison and Steven Nelson tied for second with 6. MVP goes to Dak Prescott. Lamar ends up second. Josh Allen ends up third. OPOY goes to Lamar in the AFC. DPOY goes to Von. Hutchinson takes it home in the NFC. And OPOY goes to Cooper Kupp. In the wild card round, the Ravens beat the Steelers. Vikings obliterate the Niners. Bengals beat the Chargers. The Falcons win a thriller against the Saints. The Jets beat the Jags. And the Eagles beat the Rams. This is what the playoff picture is looking like. 8 teams remain. 8 clones remain as well. 2 Jamar Chases against 2 Stephon Diggs. Which wide receiver clone is going to help their team move on? Nothing doing on the ground. On first down, here comes Von Miller and that pass rush. Burrow going to take off. Will he do it again on this 3rd down and 6? There's Jamar at tight end. And that's where Burrow goes. 3rd down and forever for the Bengals at the 30. 4-man rush. Burrow gonna go down. Nice defense. McPherson has his field goal blocked. So Josh Allen and the Bills take over an amazing field position. He's gonna find one of his Stephon Diggs. Last play of the first quarter. There's his tight end Kincaid getting them the first. Will we see Stephon Diggs get his first carry? No. 1st and goal. It's gonna be a pass. Allen gonna scramble. Buffalo takes the first lead of the game. So far, so good for the Bills. We're in the 3rd quarter now. Just like that. Buffalo up 2 possessions. Since he finally gets on the board, is it too little, too late? Does Burrow have a clutch drive in him? 2 Jamars at his disposal. 2 timeouts. 20-something seconds. Nice dot to tight end Chase. Saves their 2nd timeout. All kinds of time for Burrow. Another laser. They're at the 40. Were the 2 Chase catches enough on this drive? This is a 58-yarder. There's a flag as he missed it wide right. It's roughing the kicker on Greg Rousseau. Huge penalty. Giving the Bengals another chance. This time he makes it. And we're headed into OT. Both teams will possess the ball in OT. So it doesn't matter who gets ball first. We finish overtime 1 without any points being scored. Both teams have possessed the football. This game is never ending. Both defenses playing lights out football. Just punts back and forth. Buffalo trying to move across midfield. They finally get into field goal range and kick the game-winning field goal. The Bills win a thriller. 3 touchdowns from Burrow was not enough. 116 yards rushing from Stephon Diggs. The 2 Jamar Chases combined for almost 200 yards receiving. But his team is going home. Next up, running back AJ Brown against running back Justin Jefferson. First up on offense is the Philadelphia Eagles. AJ getting the first carry of the game. 7 yards already. I figured him behind that O-line. I mean, good luck trying to stop that. Nice catch by Julio. Will they cap this drive off with a touchdown? Here comes the read option. Actually, the RPO. Julio with the touchdown. Philly with the early lead. Now, keep in mind, when we do these sims, everyone is healthy. So even though Avante, Kirk, guys that are injured in real life, they're healthy in these simulations. Jefferson drops an easy pass right into his hands. You don't see that often. I expect Cousins to go right back to him on 3rd down and 10. Empty backfield for him. What did I say, man? Jefferson keeps the chains moving. Finally, we're going to see Jefferson carry the football. His first rush of the game. Gets him 6 yards right there. Makes it a 3rd down and short. Will they go back to him? No. It's going to be a pass. Hawkinson with the nice catch. Minnesota has done a great job on 3rd downs on this drive. Can they do it again? 3rd and 3 from the 7. Incomplete pass. Philly holds them to 3. But both teams showing that they're capable of moving the football down the field. Late in the 3rd quarter, Philly goes up 10 points. But Minnesota takes the lead in the 4th. We're on the seesaw. Philadelphia down 4. Less than a minute left in the game. Vikings show him blitz on his 3rd and 3. They're only gonna rush 4. AJ Brown keeps the chains moving. Zone coverage again. Goddard gonna find a crease. Shaking off a tackle. He's out of bounds at the 4. Another game coming down to the wire. Hurts to Calcaterra. Philadelphia takes the lead. Last chance for the Vikings. 3 seconds left. They could not get in field goal range in time. Kirk not even gonna throw a Hail Mary. And that's how their season ends. Another one-score game. Both quarterbacks played really well. 3 touchdowns apiece. AJ Brown, 95 yards on the ground. Jefferson, 6 yards a carry, but he only had 5 carries on the game. The wide receiver version of him was going crazy though. 11 catches, 125 yards. Another great game. But my NFC pick is going home, so it's all up to Lamar. And my AFC pick, they're taking on the 2 Garrett Wilsons and the Jets. New York gets ball first. Rodgers with a pretty good wide receiver core now. And also Breece Hall at running back is no slouch. 3rd and inches though on their first drive. Incomplete pass. Ravens force a 3 and out. Now we get to see the 2 Lamars in the backfield for Baltimore. One of the scariest read options you could ever create. Jackson making people miss picking up a first down. Another read option. I don't know how you stop this. Well, that's one way to do it. Get to the quarterback. On 3rd down, Bryce Huff with the sack. Both teams punt on their first drive. Could we end up with a low-scoring game? Something I didn't expect coming into this. Now, the Ravens do get some points. Actually, they get 2 touchdowns heading into halftime. They have a commanding lead late in the 3rd quarter, and it's going to stay like that. Unfortunately, New York could not get enough going on offense, and the Lamar Jacksons are headed to the conference championship game. Running back Lamar, almost 5 yards a carry. Both Garrett Wilsons combined for 5 catches and less than 40 yards, not enough. Final matchup in the divisional. 2 CeeDee Lambs taking on 2 Lindstroms. ATL versus Dallas. Falcons offense up first. Bijan getting only a couple on his first touch. I was surprised that he was not a higher overall wide receiver. I feel like he's getting underrated at the wide receiver position. I mean, he had a nice touchdown catch this past weekend from Ritter, so maybe they'll improve his stats over time. Either way, 3rd down and 8. Ritter, all kinds of time. He's gonna load up and go deep. Intercepted. Trevon Diggs with the INT. But will the Cowboys do anything with the turnover? 3rd down and 10 already. Trips to the left. 2 CDs going out for routes. Dak gonna try to go to one of them. It's intercepted off the tip. Jesse Bates with the 2nd INT of the game. Both teams struggling early on. Will he be the one we clone for ATL on the defensive end in that video, man? Stay tuned. Right now, ATL with a nice lead, 13-3. But here come the Cowboys. They make it a 1-possession game. We're in the 4th quarter. No more timeouts for the Cowboys. Cannot afford to take a sack. 3-man rush from ATL. Dak throws the interception. The Falcons are moving on. 3 out of 4 divisional games came down to the wire. Cowboys had a chance at the end. Just did not make enough plays. The 2 Lambs combined for 10 catches and over 100 receiving yards. Meanwhile, both Lindstroms allowed 0 sacks. 4 teams left. The Ravens, Bills, Eagles, and Falcons. Will my AFC prediction come true, or the Bills play spoiler and head back to the Super Bowl for the first time since the 90s? Ravens have the lead heading into half number 2, 17-10. No points in the 3rd, but Baltimore extends their lead early in the 4th. Buffalo desperately needs a stop. They're down 6. Only 1 timeout left. It's a 2nd and 3. Lamar up the gut. Nice cutback. His Ravens are headed to the Super Bowl. That offense is scary, people. I don't know how you stop the running back version of Lamar. 2 touchdowns, over 5 yards a carry. Stephon did his thing for the Bills at running back as well. He had a touchdown, 5 catches, 31 yards. Only question left is who will they be facing off against in the Super Bowl? Philly gets the first touchdown of the game, but the Falcons have the lead. Actually, never mind. Philadelphia takes it back late in the 3rd quarter. They're up double digits in the 4th, but the Falcons are not gonna go away easy. It's now a 3-point game, and they have the football. But Ritter throws a pick. Darius big play Slay getting the ball back for the Eagles. bunch to the left. Hurts gonna pass the ball. He has AJ Brown. Instead, he's going down. But luckily, they have, in my opinion, the second best kicker in the league. And they go up 6 points thanks to Jake Elliott. 2nd and 10, empty backfield. 4-man rush from Philly. Here comes Hassan Reddick-Ritter. Gonna scramble. He tried to throw it like 5 yards past the line of scrimmage. And that's how the Falcons season ends. Yet another close finish. ATL with a solid season, but AJ Brown at running back. 5 yards of carry, over 100 yards, was just a little too much to handle. It all comes down to this: 2 Lamars versus 2 AJ Browns. My pick for the Super Bowl in real life: the Eagles and the Ravens. We've seen both teams in action, so we're going to sim straight to the 4th quarter. I expect it to be close, but if it's not, I'll be shocked. I'm not going to lie, man. Baltimore has a nice 10-point lead heading into half number 2, but we've seen Jalen Hurts come back time and time again. 3-point game. Elliott should be able to send this one into overtime, and he does. OT in the Super Bowl, man. What else could you want? Both teams get the football. Even if Philly scores first, Baltimore gets a chance. Oh my goodness, Hurts on his first pass in overtime. Gonna find Devontae Smith, who had a great release. Just like that, they're in the Ravens territory. However, the Eagles have to settle for 3 after that huge play from Smitty. And now the Ravens can win the game with a touchdown. But as you know, if they don't get at least a field goal, then the Ravens lose. So this is a very crucial drive. Read option on the first play. Lamar picks up 9. You can't key in on the quarterback, because then the other Lamar is just as dangerous in the open field. Back-to-back runs. Oh, he fumbles. Philadelphia wins the Super Bowl. Hassan Reddick with the recovery. And there you have it. That's what would happen if you cloned one player on every NFL team's offense. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching to the end, man. Subscribe if you're new around here, and I'll see you on the next one.